This is Room 360 on the go, and we are at Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. So I'm here to explore the battlefield of Gettysburg. I picked this hotel by random. Now the price is pretty steep, but I'm glad I picked it. It's kind of funny how things work out. So my room is facing the battlefield, and I didn't know that because the clerk in front just told me that, oh yeah, the field is right behind us, and there's the field. It's right over there, and I didn't know that. This is a reminder to me that in life sometimes the answers will show up if you start building it. So tomorrow we are going to explore Gettysburg before that we leave out of here. So yeah, and it turns out that you can walk and or drive through this thing. It gets better and better. This is the vlog before the vlog. Gettysburg, the battlefield. This is probably a sign for it right here. Son of a switch. Oh, we're gonna explore this. So I thought that the park closed already because online it says it's now closed, but it turns out the museum I think closed at 5 or 6 p.m. or something like that, but the park stays open until 10. I mean, you can also drive through the park. This is Gettysburg. This is the turnaround battle for the Union during the Civil War. So, yeah. Should be fun. Let's learn some history. We are in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, as we push our way east. So I'm about to check out, and right over there, can this thing go up like old school? No, yeah, there you go. This is the field of Gettysburg. Yes, as in the Battle of Gettysburg. The battle, I believe, that was the turning point of the Civil War, where the Union turned over the wave of war, I guess, if that makes any sense, where that they started to kick ass. So since we're here, I figured, hey, let's take some time out to explore it. I mean, this is something that happened in the past that is important. Why, you ask, is because this happened during the presidency of Lincoln, and the significance of this is that before the Civil War, when people talked about the United States, they said the United States are. And after the Civil War, people say the United States is. That's a very important shift in history, and that is the reason why that Lincoln is also on Mount Rushmore. He symbolizes preservation, the preservation of the Union. So yeah, so it's not per se a woohoo fun vlog or a cool place to see, but yeah, it is a cool place to see. But let's take some time and learn a thing or two today. So let's walk through the Gettysburg battlefield, and there's a museum which I think that we will also have time to check out today. So yeah, so let's go. So vlogging the Gettysburg battlefield, I have no idea how I'm gonna do this effectively. I've never filmed something this big before, so I really don't know. So this is a zoom first, so if I screw this up, I screw it up, but hopefully I learned something in the process. And of course, do I have my mask with me? It's time to check out, and we're down to the wire. I'm supposed to check out at noon. I think it's like 11:55, so I gotta put my mask on, guys, so please bear with me. The angles of the camera is gonna look funny. That's because I gotta get my ninja mask on. You know, hopefully, there you go. So, we got our stuff. We're gonna turn in the keys. So, yeah. So this is the museum. It is right outside. So, well, you know, right over there. Like a ninja. And just like that, we are checked out of the hotel. Look, it's a Maserati. Cool. Really cool. The visitor center is closed today, so there aren't no tours, which is fine because we can explore by ourselves. So this is the museum. Look like they have some kind of horse and carriage tour, which we're not gonna do this time around. Maybe like some other time when I'm around here, maybe we might do that. Let's explore Gettysburg raw.
Caution, speed trap ahead.
So this is a one-way, so you can't go the other way around. So if you ever show up here, ensure that you enter through the right way, which that you'll be able to see as long as you pay attention. There's a big sign that says do not enter. That's the hotel right there. My room is on that side actually, and we are in the park. So we have a lot of time to explore today. That's the good part. That's the good part of it, because I don't need to be in New York City until like 9 p.m. this evening, so that is a good thing. More time for me to explore. There's no time stress, nothing like that. So supposedly there are lots of parking spaces in the park. I just want to get myself situated real quick. Let's do that. So just to give you a little short history, I think that the battlefield, the actual battle took place in, I think, 1963. I'm not sure, but I think it's, I would say July 1st through the 3rd of 1963. And of all of the battles of the Civil War, this battle took the most casualties. I don't know the numbers, but the most casualties, because this battlefield was the battlefield that took the most lives in the entire war. I think that's the reason why it's often referred to as the turning point of the war. And I didn't even know that the Civil War was fought that far north. So I'm going to figure out this place, and you can see over there, there's the cemetery there. So I'm going to take the time to explore this place. Look like a lot of people like to come here to walk, so Really cool, man. Really cool. Alright guys, so here's my plan. As Suki is in the parking lot causing people to stop and take pictures, as the guy's doing right now. So we actually has several people are doing now. But I hope nobody tampers with when I'm going. That car, man, is like, oh my gosh, she's such a attention whore. But anyway, oh well. So here's the plan. We're gonna walk, and then we're gonna drive around, and then we're gonna stop at certain places. So let's just enjoy this. If you are in the area, Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, as a matter of fact, if you live in Pennsylvania, I mean, this is history. Stop by Gettysburg and explore it. So let's do it. So for example, I mean, you have a unit that had men, about 294 men engaged, 53 is missing, 50 is wounded, 19 or 18 is like killed. It's like 103, 113, it's like 121 killed out of 294. Jeez Louise. 121, that's just below 50%. What, 45% maybe? Jeez Louise. Like I can relate because I'm in the military, so it's like that. Yeah, that's like 45% of my company. So I'm not sure if it's the season, but there's a lot of grasshoppers around here. Like lots of them. They're jumping on my foot. They don't care. It's like, this is my area. You get out. What do we have here? Got some cannons. Well, actually, I mean, you know, clearly these cannons have been what's the word? Decommissioned, because you can see there's, or is it even the real thing? It looks like it's been blocked though by something. I'm not sure if you guys can see that because it's kind of dark in there, but there's something that's blocking it right there. Because, you know, when they use these things for, like, you know, display, it's been, like, you know, decommissioned. But I'm sure at some point, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, you see how this is actually sealed in. Yeah, so this is to adjust. This is to adjust the elevation, and yeah, so yeah, I'm sure at some point those were probably real cannons, because I don't think those are like something that they made up that's completely fake. Just like the airplanes from museums or from military sites, yeah, they go through this process called decommissioning, where that they like seal certain things and everything like that. So I think that this is what this is. So all of these are all over the place. You can read about who fought here, like in terms of which brigades, which corps. Yeah. Now, this is not my first site. I've been through a few of those, and I always notice there are a lot of things in common at these sites. Is these rock barriers are always there. I think that those were probably there during the battle too at some point. They're always there, like these stacks of, like, you know, barriers, and then there's also the wooden ones too, which I will show you guys. I'm sure that I'm gonna run into them like I did yesterday. So yeah. The 108th NY Infantry, 2nd Brigade, 3rd Division, 2nd Corps, or Corps rather. There's something like that for every unit who fought here. We got a Hancock Avenue. Is that the same Hancock as in John Hancock, one of the signers of the U.S. Constitution? As in the John Hancock? Yeah, look like this is a, ooh, whoa, 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 whoa. Zoom this thing out, baby. Zoom this thing out. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So it looks like this is also a cannon, but this one, yeah, it could be the original thing. Well, it looks different compared to the other one. Crack underneath there, but yeah, these things you can't use them. Yeah, they've gone through. Yeah, they've been permanently sealed in. This is a great countryside, man. Look at that. Great countryside. Air is clean up here. Yeah, the drive is nice. All the trees. This is a great season for this because it's the fall and the colors are changing. It looks great. So this is the entrance of the park. This is where we got in. This is the first statue that you're gonna see. And this is Alexander Hayes. Next to this sign that says Ziegler's Grove. Ziegler. That's the last name of one of my commanding officers back in the day. Lieutenant Colonel Ziegler. How you doing, sir? So this guy's history is pretty impressive. It's like he kept on getting out, and they kept on bringing him back to fight battles. It's like he kept on getting out, but they keep bringing him back in to fight battles. Which happens in war, because in war sometimes, you know, like if we would go to war today, and and the war is just asking more and more, and it's just, you know, taking more and more American lives. Like if guys like me who are going to retire soon, they can call us back. Sure, I mean, I don't see how or like why not, but oh well, stuff happens, I guess. Now this is something that I didn't know about. So these are the remnants of the Bryan farm. So back in 1863, this farm area was owned by a man named, his name was Abraham Bryan and James Warfield. They owned this farm, and they were both black men, freed black men. And when the Confederate Army came here, they fled, and the armies fought here, of course. They severely ruined the property, as I'm sure they did, and he filed for claims along with a lot of other farmers. He requested $1,028 and only received $15, where most farmers or many farmers received nothing. And he rebuilt his farm still, and then he prospered until his death in 1879. So this is the property. So the war was fought on a black man's farm. I did not know that. That is crazy. That is crazy. That was the last thing, because I would imagine that if this was a farm, it would not be owned by those two guys, probably. Yeah, but this is cool. I didn't know that. Just to know it is cool. So make sure that you read this when you guys visit this area, the Bryan farm. Very interesting. See, that's why I like to do these things. It's good to know these things, because knowledge is power. So this is it. These are the buildings that are the only remnants of the farm. So the wind is starting to pick up here. Not sure what we can see in here. See a dismantled bed. Not sure if you can see that, guys, through the camera. Look at that old dresser or desk, I don't know, with one drawer. Looks like an old water pump. I think that's what that was. So guys, one interesting thing too is that just as I thought, this side is just a part is just one part of the battlefield. So the wind is starting to pick up. I'm not sure if you can hear me through the wind, but the battlefield actually, it expands through the other side, because I can see from here, not sure if you can see it, but there are monuments I can see down there. I see a couple. I see actually 3 from here. So on the other side of the road right there, I think like all this land they fought in. So it's not just over here, but they also fought on the other side as well. So this road is a one-way road. It only goes this direction. So guys, this is a piece of the farm as well. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Of course, these things on the roof did not exist back then, I'm sure. But and I'm gonna go ahead and claim this, but in all of the other fields I've been to, like, you know, battlefield I've been to of some sort, they always have these things, these barriers, and I think those are most likely authentic to the times, probably, because they always have these barriers. So I think this might be the real thing here. So it looks like we have, this is the first monument I see for the Confederacy, the 11th Mississippi Infantry Regiment. Let's go check it out. I'm assuming it's okay for me to walk in here. So this is, yeah, they fought all over this field, man. Crazy. We're walking where, you know, back on July 1st through the 3rd, 1963. Man, you show up here, you are getting it. I mean, we're here, but we're about some 200 years too late, I guess. Yeah, so this is for the Confederacy. So after reading this, the story is that the Confederacy came as close as the Bryan barn, which is this barn right here. So they got this close, and when they got this close, their ranks were already thin, and they got under a barrage of fire. And according to the Brigadier General Davis, he says that at this point, trying to advance from this position onward was hopeless. The only option he had was to call the retreat. So they retreated. They got as close as here, okay, next to the barn, and they had to retreat, because, and if these, which makes sense, because if you're coming up here and your ranks are already thin, and you know, you're getting fired upon, and then you got to get over this thing, which I'm assuming was there back then. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. I mean, look at these numbers. It's like, what, 303 wounded, killed in action, or captured. Captured unwounded 37, non-casualty 50. So out of 393, 53 came back. Yeah, you might as well call the retreat, sir. So this is the Bryan barn. What can we see in there? Peep through this hole. Hopefully none comes out and kills me. What's in there? Can you guys make it out? I can't make it out, man. It's a bunch of, yeah, I think it's empty. Yeah, it kind of smells like 1963 in there. Ugh. I couldn't see much in there. I think it's empty. I mean, it would be nice if they had it open. It's a very small house. Glad that I have a lot of time today to do this, because you can't really, like, bum rush through here. So as we walk, I'm gonna bring up some things that I find to be interesting. You know, one thing I realized after reading this is, back in those days, colonels and generals died all the time, because even though they were not necessarily in the front lines, but they were a little bit further back, and they were usually riding horses, but they were close enough where that shells can still hit them. Like, I think it was like since like World War II that we haven't had like like, you know, too many generals die during battle. I think we've lost a couple during World War II. General Patton was one of them, but I think he died as a result of an accident while riding on a Jeep, I think. But ever since then, it's like you know, generals dying at war is like, it was almost unheard of. Like, especially now, because generals now, they're on, like, you know, they're not in the front lines. They are way back away from it. Like, yeah. So back then, you know, being a colonel and a general did not, like, you know, put you that far back where that, you know, you couldn't get killed. You still get killed. It's very interesting how we've evolved as far as war. I mean, that's if you want to call it that. I'm not sure. Yeah, so I just spoke with that guy, cool guy. Yeah, he's been here all his life. Hopefully you guys can hear me, because the wind has picked up and I'm yet to get a microphone for this doggone camera, because they are sold out in stores. I'm trying not to order it because the mail sucks these days. But this is one of the older signs that they haven't replaced. So we are right here looking this way. So this is Pickett's charge, and then the charge of Peter Grew. So the way I understand it is that this line right here, so the armies of the South were coming from this direction, which makes sense why that monument is down there. So they were trying to push going this way, and they were coming from over there. I see a memorial way down there. It's so big. I think I'm gonna try to go see what that is about. So just to give you like an idea of what's happening here. So the South were coming from down there, and then the Union was over here. So fun fact. So the guy right there who's behind me, who I just spoke to, he chimed in on the Bryant's farm history. He said that when the Union Army were making their way up here, there were about 40 to 50 free blacks here, and most of them ran away. Those who didn't get the chance to do it, they captured them and took them back down south and sold them as slaves. So food for thought. So I'm not sure if you guys can see this, but this is the way out of the park. There's a road that goes further down there, then it cuts across. Look like there's more places to see here. There's a big monument down there. I'm guessing it's for the Confederacy. Probably there's probably a cemetery down there too, because there's one up here. I bet you that one is for the Union, and that one is for the Confederacy. So, whoa, who's that? Let's check him out. Got a big statue of this guy. These pillars represent the different units who fought. A lot of units came here and fought. Some fought together, some took turns, some were sent to relieve others. It's one big massive, but this is definitely this is the definitive line right here. Right here. This is a definitive line between the Confederate and the Union. And we are on the Union side. Looks like people come with their family to enjoy this site. That's cool. So that's the tour. That's what the tour looks like. We're not doing that today. We're gonna do it old school. We're just gonna walk around. But it's not a bad thing to do in the future if I'm in this area, like to exclusively do this tour on a horse and carriage. As we're moving right along, I like this right there. Check this out. I think these cannonballs, though they're clearly fake, but I think the size is accurate though. I mean, yeah, if this thing is moving through the air fast enough, yeah, it will tear you up. It will definitely cause some damage. I like this right there. This is definitely the biggest battlefield I've ever visited. And then also the most eloquent one as well. It's really built up. Now, I was curious why that the town of Gettysburg is so expensive. Fuel is expensive. The hotel room is expensive. It's because of this. Because this draws so many people to Gettysburg. Can you imagine being here like on the 4th of July? It's packed. So yeah, it makes sense for things to be expensive like that. So that's why. What do we have here? So this has been erected by Congress to commemorate the services of that portion of the Army of the Potomac, composed of cavalry, artillery, and infantry and engineers of the regular Army of the United States, and the Gettysburg Campaign, June through July 1963. So this has been commissioned by Congress. This is really cool, man. Really cool. Yeah, this is definitely built up. Definitely built up. So I have to admit, this battlefield site has completely exceeded my expectations. I did not expect it to be this big, this built up, and this many things built around it. Insane. So now I see why Gettysburg is expensive, because I bet you this is a draw from all around this country. And yeah, it's definitely has exceeded my expectations compared to other sites that I've been to. One thing that I thought about is, if you look at all of the monuments here that represent units after units of infantrymen, I guarantee you that during the battle, what matters was really two things. Are you Confederate or are you Union? You know, because it was like men on top of men, and men being wounded, killed, being replaced by other men. I bet you at some point, it must have been like a logistical nightmare. But at the end of the day, are you Confederate and are you Union? I bet you that's how it was. I mean, I wasn't there. I'm not a history expert, though I love history. I bet you that's what happened. It was like, are you Confederate or are you Union? Because it'll be a mess in the field. This guy's down there. This guy's way up there. Woo! Vermont is outshining everybody, man. This is in the honor of the Sons of Vermont, who fought in the field of Gettysburg. 1st Vermont Brigade. Jeez. Vermont is like flexing on Gettysburg. Look at the other statues around it. This guy's down there, that guy's way up there. Vermont. Oh, how you've changed over the years. So we are at the last major last major monument here on the Union side. And this is for Pennsylvania. So I guess this is for the sons of this state who fought and fell on this field. Pennsylvania. I don't know. This is Vermont, though it's smaller. But Pennsylvania is definitely flexing, I think, in both height and mass. Let's take a closer look at it. The man himself, Abraham Lincoln. That's interesting. So total present 34,530, wounded 11,082, missing 850 or 860, wounded 3,177. Well, killed and mortally wounded 1182. Yep. Jeez Louise. So it's about half. Actually just over half. So guys, so this is not like an in-depth history lesson, but this is just to make this short and fun, well as short as I possibly can and fun, and to get you to go out and do this and visit these places as well. So it's pretty hard for me to give you an actual good representation of what this place looks like. So I'm gonna attempt to do this. And we're back where we started. Suki's right there. See a van parked next to her. Hopefully I don't have a ding on my door. That's why I parked very close to the curb, so that whoever parked next to me has plenty of room to open their doors. Hopefully I'm not dinged, because yeah, that would be annoying. Hello, good. No dings, no dings, no dings. No dings, please. Yes. So, we just came from that side over there, overlooking the battlefield. The cemetery is right across here. This is the Gettysburg National Cemetery. And let's check it out. So you can't drive in here. Wow. It's pretty. Of course you got your local map. I think this is a Union cemetery though. I think the one for the Confederate is on the other side. So this is cool. This is the actual Gettysburg Address. You can read it from beginning to end. And the only thing that I remember from school is the last sentence, that government of the people, by the people, for the people shall not perish from this earth. From the earth, rather. That's the only part I remember from this speech, because I had to learn it in school. So I've been to the D-Day military cemetery in France, and the tombstones are all the same. I think it's the same. I've been to several others too. They're all the same. I haven't been to the Arlington one, but the tombstone has always been the same. Yep. Which the one in France, I don't think I've documented that, but that was before me having this YouTube channel. But I'm not sure if the footage, if it's possible for me to edit it for the channel. Yeah, we'll see. And looks like there's also people who've died here, not just from the Gettysburg, but there's people here from World War I, World War II as well. So a lot of the people buried here were unknown, because records were not the best back then. But I think those are the Civil War guys, actually. Yeah, the record keeping back then wasn't so up to par, but yeah. So this is not part of the Civil War. this is a private cemetery, or for non-soldiers. This is not a part of the Gettysburg cemetery. Huh. That's interesting. Yeah, so that thing said that when Lincoln gave the Gettysburg speech, the now famed speech, the speech lasted 2 minutes, and when he walked away from the podium, he thought that he disappointed people. Little did he know. But let me tell you, man, back in the day, these generals, they were close enough to the battle where that they would get killed. Today, it just doesn't happen, which is a plus, actually, because you want the experience to remain and not die. Because it's like a lot, like back in the day, like a lot of those generals were young, because see, the generals would die, man, just like soldiers, they would die. So those are World War II guys for the most part. World War I, World War II. So yeah, so this is it for the cemetery, guys. There's one more spot that I want to check out on the other side of the battlefield, which is probably because this is mostly for the Union guys. I mean, there are some Confederates buried here too, but it's mostly I think Union and, you know, World War I, World War II guys. But yeah. Alright guys, we are on the other side that I talked about when we were at Gettysburg. So this is actually called Confederate Avenue. Hopefully I could park someplace, but this is the last stop. So yeah, we were over there. If you look further out into the distance, you'll see the obelisk, the statue, and of General Meade. Well, I'm not sure if you can see it now because of the barrier, but so this part was solid south side. I mean, this was a solid Confederate ground, and I think there's something big down there or something like that I want to go check out. But yeah, so this is on the other end of the battlefield. So yeah, so see people on these cycles there. So I'm trying to look for a spot that I can park so that I can get out. It's just that the edge is not lowered car friendly. Let's just say that it's not lowered car friendly. Maybe I could just park on the edge like this guy. I don't know, maybe that's what I'm gonna have to do, because I can't park over. Yeah, I can't do that because it's simply, yeah, I'm gonna park right there. I think we should be good. Yep, so I was right. So this side of Gettysburg is the Confederate line. Yep, the Confederate line is right here. So we were so where we were was the Union, and this is the Confederacy. And you could tell there's a big difference with the Union because they spent a lot more money there. The statues over there are much bigger, you know, compared to the Confederacy. So yeah, let's check it out for a little bit. Let's start from down there. It's shaped like the state of Tennessee. That's clever. It is shaped like the state of Tennessee. And the toll in terms of lives. Yeah, so you know, just like I said before, the two white buildings in the very distant, right, the two white buildings in the very distance, that is the Bryan farm. So at some point the South made it as far as the barn and had to turn back. Yeah, so the South, I did not know, because Gettysburg for a long time I didn't know was in Pennsylvania. I thought, you know, Gettysburg was further south than that. But I didn't know that the Southern troops came as close as Gettysburg. Like Washington D.C. is like what, 2 hours away from here? 2 hours east from here? That's insane. So on July 3rd, after a blistering attack with big guns, and then the South decided to form ranks in this field right behind me, and then they advanced going towards the Union throughout this field. And for example, one company went in with 30 men and came out with just eight. That's insane. This is known as Pickett's charge. The charge that I spoke about earlier that came as far as the barn. So I think this is to commemorate the charge, I guess. This statue right here. So yeah. So guys, I think I'm going to end my vlog here about Gettysburg. Okay, this is not like a video to be specific about it. This is just for it to be enough to encourage you to get up, get out and do it. This is what Zoom 360 is about. Okay, not all of my trips are gonna be necessarily doing fun stuff and ooh, cool stuff, but some of the trips rather will be about things like that, like things that you can learn from, like, you know, a little bit of history. Yeah, you know, so it's always good for the mind, I think. So hopefully this video will inspire you or encourage you or at least put Gettysburg on your bucket list. Okay, a lot of people fought on and died here. This very field, man, insane. And it looks like as if, yeah, nothing ever happened here. But yeah, guys, all along these fields, man, there were dying men. A lot and lots of blood. So yeah, so hopefully this video was enough to put this on your bucket list. This is Zoom 360 inviting you to get up, get out and do it. Like, subscribe and share, and I'm out.